Today we're talking AMD, why the company is suddenly a headline machine in AI circles, what the OCP Global Summit in San Jose revealed, and why some top analysts are suddenly very positive, while others still urge caution. If you love chips, data centers, and the delicious smell of silicon smoke, this one's for you. Let's go. Big picture, why AMD's AI momentum matters. AMD is no longer just a CPU and gaming story. Over the last year, the company has been aggressively building a full-stack AI pitch, high-performance Instinct GPUs, new EPYC Venice CPUs for data centers, and Pensando-based networking, branded as Volcano/Uplink solutions, that tie the whole rack together. That combination, chips plus networking plus software stack, is what hyperscalers want when they design giant AI clusters. Put bluntly, AMD is pushing to be a one-stop supplier for AI infrastructure, and that shift is changing how investors and customers look at the company. What happened at OCP in San Jose, Helios, MI450 and the show floor buzz? At this year's OCP Global Summit in San Jose, AMD brought the heat. The company unveiled a rack-scale reference design called Helios built to the Meta Open Rack Wide, ORW, standard and showcased the upcoming Instinct MI450 GPUs in that reference rack. The Helios rack is AMD's statement: high-density memory, lots of GPU-to-GPU bandwidth, and an architecture designed to be easier to service and scale in hyperscale environments. Industry write-ups pointed out Helios can hold dozens of MI450s, and that AMD claims high memory capacity and efficient scaling, features that matter a ton for large generative AI models. Why does that matter? Because hyperscalers like Meta, Microsoft, Oracle, and others care about standard, serviceable racks that fit into their operational playbooks. A good reference rack can speed procurement and deployment decisions by months, and months matter in the AI arms race. The MI450, Venice CPUs, and Volcano, the triad. AMD's AI pitch is threefold: GPUs, MI450 series, CPUs, Venice family for next-gen EPYC, and networking, Volcano/Pensando NICs and DPUs. The MI450 GPUs are being positioned as AMD's answer to scale-out AI training and inference needs. Venice is the Zen 6 server family that promises much higher core counts and memory bandwidth to keep GPUs fed, and Volcano, Pensando-derived NICs/DPUs, aim to unclog interconnects and improve scale-out efficiency. Together they're a coherent story: compute, memory, and fast interconnect, the three pillars of modern AI infrastructure. Imagine an orchestra. The MI450s are the violins, lots of parallel work. Venice CPUs are the conductor, coordinating the sections, and Volcano DPUs are the stagehands quickly moving music stands so the violins never miss a beat. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. Analyst backing: Vivek Arya and the Gigawatt Math. Bank of America's senior analyst Vivek Arya, who is frequently cited among the top semiconductor analysts, recently made a headline-grabbing projection. He estimated $15 to $20 billion of potential GPU revenue per gigawatt of AI deployment. That kind of per gigawatt math is key when you're pitching to hyperscalers. If a single gigawatt of deployed GPUs can monetize into tens of billions over its life cycle, then multi-gigawatt contracts, or partnerships, are strategically huge. Arya's analysis factored into an overall bullish tone from some institutional desks and helped justify bigger price targets and rotations into AMD stock. Quick translation for humans: when analysts talk about per gigawatt revenue, they're converting physical infrastructure scale into potential sales, a mental shortcut to show how big deals with OpenAI or Meta can be. The OpenAI and hyperscaler angle: why partnerships reshape markets. Public filings and press pieces hint at large-scale partnerships and supply agreements, some announced, some rumored, that position AMD inside potential gigawatt deployments. Those partnerships, the kind where a hyperscaler standardizes on a vendor for racks and chassis, are exactly the events that can flip a supplier's addressable market practically overnight. The Helios rack, AMD's claims around MI450 density, and alignment to Meta's ORW specs make the company a more natural fit for companies building rack-scale, GPU-heavy AI clusters. If one or two big customers convert pilots into gigawatt deployments, it's a multi-year revenue stream with meaningful margins. Landing one big cloud deal is like getting the supermarket chain to stock your product nationwide. Repeat orders replace one-off wins, and your factory runs at higher utilization. $15, $20 per gigawatt, why that number floats around. The ARIA projection mentioned earlier, the $15 to $20 billion/GW figure, is an output of several inputs: price per GPU, expected refresh cycles, services and software revenue around racks, and expected multi-year consumption by AI workloads. Analysts use these models to help value future cash flows and to argue why supply agreements are not just one-off sales but long-term revenue levers. It's not a guaranteed check, it's a model, but it's the language big buyers and investors use to size opportunity. Put it this way, if you can convince a giant buyer that a rack row will keep training models for years, you've sold them more than silicon, you've sold them a computing ecosystem. What Meta alignment means: a door into big data centers. Meta has been a major contributor to open rack standards and has detailed preferences for rack architecture and serviceability. AMD's Helios being built to Meta's ORW spec isn't just a brag, it's a compatibility play. If AMD's reference designs map closely to what Meta and other hyperscalers prefer, AMD becomes easier to evaluate, test, and deploy. That lowers friction for large-scale procurement and raises the odds that hyperscalers will trial AMD hardware at scale. If those trials convert, AMD's data center presence could meaningfully expand. If every new phone needed a special case, the phone maker that designs a case-fitting standard would get extra retail shelf space. AMD designing to Meta's rack standard is the tech equivalent. NVIDIA still Titanic, but the wake is getting busy. Let's be real. NVIDIA's market cap dwarfs AMD's. Recent reporting put NVIDIA's valuation around $4 to $4.5 trillion, reflecting the company's dominant share of AI accelerator demand. That dominance matters. Ecosystem lock-in, software frameworks, and performance leadership are powerful moats. But AMD's recent wins and announcements have produced a sharp move in AMD shares. In the aftermath of the big infrastructure deal news, AMD jumped roughly 42% in under 2 weeks as traders rotated into the stock on the partnership headlines. That kind of fast move says market sentiment can change quickly, and while AMD is nowhere near NVIDIA's scale, the relative momentum is what traders notice. And we could see AMD hit $950 soon. Note this as well. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Revelation 22 verses 10 to 14. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all his commandments, he has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let him be your guide, for he will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight, All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.